Many people spend their whole lives searching for clarity, thinking it lies just one step further. Another title, another milestone, another move. But what if the clarity you've been chasing was quietly waiting for you beneath the surface for you to notice? Have you ever been so focused on trying to figure it out that you didn't stop to ask yourself what it really was? You think you're chasing clarity, but what you're really doing is creating distance. From discomfort, from uncertainty, sometimes from yourself. I spent most of my 30s climbing every ladder I could find, professionally, personally, even geographically. I kept thinking clarity was just over the next peak, but all I found was more fog. And the strangest part, that moment that I finally felt clear wasn't when I got a new job or achieved something big. It was when I glanced up at something that had been in front of me for years, and I actually saw it for the first time. So let me ask you this. What have you been chasing? Drop a comment below and tell me what clarity looks like for you right now. I read every one and they help shape all of these videos. I'd never been the kind of person to decorate my space much, but about 3 years ago, I found a quote I couldn't get out of my head. I didn't understand why it mattered so much, but I printed it, framed it. I hung it on the wall in my office in any case. Then I moved on, life kept going, and it fades into the background of my surroundings. Fast forward to the early weeks of building this channel. The word dance kept surfacing in my mind over and over again. It had arrived to me via my subconscious in a moment of reflection on life purpose a few days prior. It was playful, mysterious, and a tangible callback to my childhood. It felt somehow sacred. And I didn't quite understand why this meant so much either, only that it did. Then one day I'm on the treadmill listening to a podcast, and I hear a phrase that stops me cold. Dance with your ideas every single day. And in that moment, something clicks. I feel my awareness drop, not metaphorically, but physically, into the center of my chest, and I enter a stillness and presence that I had never known before. My thoughts are still there, but I'm watching them now from someplace deeper, a place that feels like home. That was my awakening, my creative center. For the next few days, I lived from it, and everything felt different, joyful. But life crept back in. Stress and deadlines, old habits, and I found myself disconnected again, drifting from the clarity I had only just begun to know. Then one day I'm sitting at my desk pondering a new set of reflective questions, and I glance up, and I see a quote. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. It takes my breath away. That quote had been on my wall for 3 years. I saw it daily, but I never recognized it. Not like this, at least. In that moment, I realized something that changed everything. My creative center wasn't something I had just discovered. It had been speaking to me all along. Through that quote, through the word, throughout my whole life. And I just didn't know how to listen. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. I'd looked at that quote hundreds of times, but I'd never truly read it until that day. Because for the first time in my life, I understood what it meant to arrive. I didn't find my creative center through some perfect morning routine. I didn't unlock it with a meditation app or a productivity hack. I found it by stopping long enough to feel what had been with me all along. And when I looked at that quote, when I really looked at it, it wasn't just a beautiful line. It was a reminder, a message from the part of me that had always been centered, waiting, patiently calling me home. And maybe that's the whole point. You don't have to become someone new. You don't have to master every habit or fix every flaw. You just have to notice what's already whispering beneath the noise. That's where your clarity lives. That's where your creative center is. And when you recognize it, you will see it everywhere. In the songs that give you chills, in the memories that keep tapping you on the shoulder, in the words you hung on your wall without having a clue why. You're not lost, even if it feels like you are, even if you've wandered far, far from yourself. The truth is, you've been circling home this whole time. Your creative center isn't something you earn, it's where you've always belonged. And now that you've touched it, you'll know how to find it again. So if something is stirring in you right now, if you feel that quiet pull inward, don't brush it away. Let it guide you back. Start the journey again with everything you know now. Go watch the first video in this series. Not to learn something new, but to witness what has always been. I'll meet you there.